and his cabinet, Elon Musk, the usual. Also, if you'd like for me to read your comments, you will have to send me a super chat. So I will read your comments. Again, all things Donald Trump, life under Donald Trump, part 19. That's where we are today. Part 19, a life under Donald Trump. We got a lot to cover, you guys, because every day is something new with Donald Trump. His cabinet, from them deleting tweets, old tweets, even some of his cabinet members, the new administration that he's choosing when he gets in office in January, they were against him with the insurrection. They talked about how they was with President Joe Biden, how he felt about the insurrection. So a lot of his administration didn't actually like him, but he picked those people to now be his administration when he get in office in January. Yes, they are deleting tweets, but this is the thing. Once you put it out there, it is out there. There's no way to get rid of it. Even with Donald Trump, once he puts something out there, it is out there. And we have something so amazing to talk about and celebrate. Yes, celebration time is here. Woo! President Joe Biden, he pardoned his son. That's what he did. And I'm so excited about it. Yay! President Joe Biden pardoned his son. That's what you do. That's what he's supposed to do. And a lot of people are talking about the Republicans. He said he wouldn't do that. Well, Donald Trump, you said you weren't going to do a lot. Donald Trump, you said you was not a part of Project 2025, but bam, you are a part of it. And a lot of your administration is full of the people that started Project 2025. Your vice president wrote the forwarding for Project 2025. So MAGA and the Republicans, you knew Donald Trump was all about Project 2025. It's about controlling your lives. That's what it's about. Taking away your rights, taking away all your free health care, taking away your food stamps, your welfare, all of that good old stuff you've been getting. Gone. Hey, Queen Vera, how you doing? Good evening. Good evening. Again, I am Queen Lily, and we're going to get this party started because we got a lot to cover. Because with Donald Trump, there is no surprises. He's not like somebody that you would say unpredictable. He's predictable. He is. So we're going to get started. Just a moment, please. And today is December the 2nd, part 19, A Life Under Donald Trump. Yes. So give me a moment, please. So we're going to start a little bit on the situation with him and the Mexican president, because I call her President Claudia because that's her first name. She's amazing. She's a fighter like me. She don't roll over and take it just because you tell her to sit down, be quiet. No. President Claudia of Mexico, the president of Mexico, she is not rolling over and taking Donald Trump's mess. Why? Because she's a woman. She's a woman of color, brown woman. Ain't taking it. Who? She ain't taking it. So we're going to, play a couple videos about her, okay? And Mexico. And what Mexico is doing right now. Because, y'all don't want Mexicans here. Well, Mexico is sending the white people back here, okay? One moment, please.
You see that Texas offered Donald Trump 1,400 acres of land so he can build his mass deportation centers there. This is the area in question, which is about 35 miles outside of McAllen, Texas. Now, this is all farmland. Now, if you listen to the land commissioner, Dawn Buckingham, real name, fucking looks, sounds, and has the name of a colonizer, she says that they acquired this land and they want to offer it to Trump. Now, if you hear Buckingham here talk about it, it sounds like they bought the land fair and square, right? No, they actually stole the land from the owner. They were mad that the previous owner was not allowing them to build a border wall on their property. So in order to obtain the land, they lied and said that her actions was enabling the cartels, and that's how they got it. You see how these people are just pure fucking evil? It doesn't matter that this land belonged to someone, that they had a farm, that this land could actually be used for housing or for farming so you could feed people. None of that matters to them. They talk about immigrants being criminals. They're the ones stealing land. They're the ones stealing from taxpayers. They're the ones who are going to build detention centers to separate U.S. citizens from their family members. Seriously, a white woman named Dawn Buckingham stealing land from U.S. citizens to put immigrants in detention centers who are just looking for a better life. James Bond writers cannot write someone as evil as her. Do you see that Texas offered Donald Trump 1,400?
But this is the thing. It does not surprise me. But y'all, Texas originally belonged to Mexico. So them stealing land is nothing different. They stole the land from Mexico anyway. Texas originally belonged to who? Mexico. So we're going to continue with the story, okay?
Did you see that Mexico is suing U.S. gun manufacturers for all the guns that are going into Mexico, and Republicans were in front of the Supreme Court yesterday trying to get the case thrown out? Listen.
We're here today because Mexico is alleging that U.S. Firearms Company are aiding in the trafficking of firearms into Mexico's. Really? What proof do you guys have of that? I strongly urge the Supreme Court to take down this lawsuit and dismiss it. Sounds like a deflection to me of where the real responsibility lies. They don't want to deal with their own organized crime. They don't want to deal with the cartels. If you want to stop violence in Mexico, you should start by looking at your cartels and your corrupt politicians that are in bed with them. I would also warn the Mexican government to tread lightly with these lawsuits. It's pretty clear that they brought these lawsuits under a weak, incompetent administration of the Biden-Harris administration. Well, I've got news for you. We have a new administration coming into town. It will not tolerate.
First of all, shout out to this lady who was in their face the entire time, just calling them liars, hitting them with facts, but they weren't listening. And talking about the facts, let's start with them. Mexico is suing U.S. gun manufacturers for $10 billion. This lawsuit includes 6 gun manufacturers, including Smith, Wesson, and Sturm, and Ruger & Co. If I said it wrong, I don't give a damn. Well, because of their actions, nearly 500,000 guns annually go into Mexico and end up in the cartel's hands. So when they say you need to deal with the cartel, they're trying, but your fucking people keep handing them weapons every time Mexico takes it away. Gun laws in Mexico are strict, and it requires a lot of background checks before even getting a low caliber revolver. However, people can bypass those laws by going on WhatsApp and getting a gun from the U.S. And something I didn't know, there are nearly 78,000 gun outlets in the United States. That is more than McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, and Wendy's combined. And of course, they're all there like, they're violating our Second Amendment rights. Your Second Amendment right stops at your fucking border. And Mexico has the right to do this because you're not respecting its sovereignty. And I don't know about you, but I don't like the way he said there's going to be a new administration in town. That was not a thinly veiled threat. That was a straight up threat to Mexico. So you can threaten Mexico, but when Mexico sues your gun manufacturers to try and stop the flow of guns coming into this country, that's a big fucking problem. Got it. Did you see that Mexico is suing U.S.
Hit that like button, y'all. Come on now. Hit that like button. You know, God said that this will happen. The first would be last and the last would be first. So they come over, they stole the whole land. Mexico owned a good bit of those states, 6 states, and it was stolen from them. The Reagan administration put drugs all in the black neighborhoods. There wasn't Mexicans that put the drugs in the black neighborhoods. It was the white man, Ronald Reagan, put the drugs in the black neighborhoods. So why are the immigrants, the migrants getting blamed for everything? Most of the SHIT stuff that happened here in America, it happened by the Caucasian man. It's just as many or maybe more Caucasians in prison system than any other. Mexico is not bringing guns over here. The white man is taking guns to Mexico, sending them over there to the cartels. So, who we're going to blame?
this immigration problem, and I don't mean the one that Donald Trump defines as a problem or that others define as a problem on the far right who were reactionary, Minutemen at the border. I'm talking about the reason we have a narrative problem around immigration and the reason we have such vitriol aimed at folks coming across the border. But keep in mind, only one border, right? The Minutemen do not camp out in boats off the coast of Nova Scotia, shooting at those crafty Canadians as they sneak into our country to take advantage of our superior health care. They don't do that. It's just down there at that other border, which I beg to remind you is an artificial border created at the outcome of a war, which was a war of aggression started on false pretense by this country. Not what they taught us in 8th grade, but now that is what happened. So really, folks are coming home. Can I get an amen? People are
Amen.
coming home. All right, they're coming home. They're coming home. And their families were here a long time before the vast majority of ours, and yet we tell them that they don't belong. Very interesting.
Amen.
The reason this is even possible, though, is because of the narrative we've told about how we, and now I'm talking about those of us of European descent, because black folks know how they got here.
Chad, that was my mother's name
Asian
too.
folk know how they got here. A lot of folks.
I'm named after my mom.
Folk to work the railroads, didn't care how many of them died. Right? Indigenous folks know how they got here. Right? But white folks have told a fiction. Right? White folks' story has basically been this. Our people came for liberty and freedom. We came for principles like that. Those people are just coming for stuff. Right? That's what we say in so many words. We came for principles. They're coming for stuff. Let's clear this up. We did not come for liberty and freedom. And I know this because if we had come for liberty and freedom, we would have established liberty and freedom. And I don't just mean with regard to people of color, I mean each other. Like, white folks spent a lot of time in the colonies just trying to figure out who was the bigger witch, right? Like, we just would kill each other. Well, it wasn't like one big happy white family. It was just, you're not a good enough Christian. No, you're not a good enough Christian. No, you're not a good enough Christian. Now I'm going to drown you because you're a warlock. I mean, that was the kind of, like, in a nutshell, that was the colonial experience. So that was not Schoolhouse Rock, right? Yeah, right? So we didn't establish liberty and freedom even vis-a-vis one another. Let's be honest, we came for stuff. We came for stuff like opportunities, stuff like land, stuff like the ability to survive.
You're right, Queen Roxanne Garnett. You're right.
To be honest about, like, our people were the losers of Europe. And I don't mean that, I'm not trying to be judgmental or harsh. I'm just being honest. Like when Donald Trump says Mexico's not sending their best. Okay, you think England sent their best? The hell? We have this immigration problem, and I don't mean...
See, people with good hearts from other races, they will tell the truth and state the truth. And as that pastor just did, he did just that. He stated the truth. Even though he is a Caucasian man, he's telling the truth about his own people. And I love it. The truth should set us free. But it won't set Donald Trump free because he would not put the truth out there. Donald Trump lives in a world of pure lies. Nothing about him is sanctified in the name of Jesus. Nothing. And this is how Mexico really feels.
Deporting Americans back to the U.S. because they're fed up. So recently, people in Mexico have been complaining because there's been an increased amount of Americans moving to Mexico without documentation. This has been causing inflation in Mexico since Americans usually don't pay any tax, and they pay in U.S. dollars, so prices have been going up. Just in the past 60 days, there's been over 240,000 immigrant apprehensions, and over 7,000 of them have been deported so far. The reason people are fleeing from the U.S. to Mexico is because they can't afford to live in America anymore, and in Mexico, the U.S. dollar has a lot more value and can go a longer way. However, because of this, people in Mexico are also feeling like Americans have been colonizing in a lot of parts of Mexico. And for locals, it's been a struggle since businesses have been naturally raising prices in response to this. People in Mexico are saying this is decreasing the quality of life over there, and everyone using pesos now having to pay more to buy, now deporting Americans back to the US because they're fed up. So recently, people in Mexico have been complaining because there's been an increased amount of Americans moving to Mexico without documentation. This has been causing inflation in Mexico Mexico since Americans usually don't pay any tax, and they pay in US dollars, so prices have been going up. Just in the past 60 days, there's been over 240,000 immigrant apprehensions, and over 7,000 of them have been deported so far. The reason people are fleeing from the US to Mexico is because they can't afford to live in America anymore, and in Mexico, the US dollar has a lot more value and can go a longer way. However, because of this, people in Mexico are also feeling like Americans have been colonizing in a lot of parts of Mexico, and for locals, it's been a struggle since businesses have been naturally raising prices in response to this. People in Mexico are saying this is decreasing the quality of life over there, and everyone using pesos now having to pay more to is now deporting Americans back to the US because they're fed up. So
straight facts. Because every time I go to Mexico, the price is just going up and up and up. And that is happening because Caucasian people are moving there. But what I don't like about when y'all move somewhere, y'all try to take over their lands. For example, now in Mexico, y'all are over there in Mexico complaining about their music, how loud it is. You're in somebody else's country. They can play their music how they want to because that's how Mexico is. It is their culture, and I love their culture. So why do you want to go change that? The same way you did the Native Americans, the Indians that were originally here, and Mexicans was here as well. Y'all always want to go into other people's environment and change and take over. But Mexico said, oh, hell no. Get out. You want them out of this country. They want y'all out of their country. So go get your people, okay? Thank you for the comment, Aubrey. But no, and when other cultures want to make it work with every race, Caucasians, not all, because I can't say that, I'm just speaking in general. Y'all don't want to make it work with other people. Y'all rather take them down and destroy them and say you don't belong here. Well, Mexico, the president, Claudia, saying you don't belong there. And yesterday in the stock market, the Mexican dollar is more valuable than the American dollar right now. How did that happen? Because of Donald Trump. You got what you wanted. You vote him in. And what we're going to see, the dollar of America going to keep going down and down and down and down to its no value. Y'all chose him.
There's a very dark theme emerging in Donald Trump's cabinet picks. And even though they are incompetent, that's not the theme. Trump's newest pick for the Department of Education fits right into this theme that I'm going to be getting at. A pretty horrendous accusation. Trump's Secretary of Defense nominee, Pete Hegseth, is no different. Matt Gaetz, same thing. RFK Jr., and you should look into what happened to his late wife, because she herself, thanks to his proclivities. Unsurprisingly, this dumpster of a human being is no different from the rest of the lot. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I'm definitely disgusted. And unsurprisingly, the king of all these folks was found liable criminally for the exact same thing. If Trump had said, oh, I'm going to nominate this person, this person, this person for all these positions before the election, I think women would have voted very differently. Now, of course, Trump didn't have to do that. I'm not saying he should have. But I think that we look at the warnings that Democrats put out during the election and go, maybe they were onto something. Donald Trump has essentially put together an SA super team. Unfortunately, it's not surprising, but it is unquestionably disgusting. Just keeps getting worse, doesn't it? There is a very dark theme emerging in Donald Trump's.
It is very dark because the vast majority of the men, and some of the women as well, they were holding down the men that was doing wrong to SA and people, even sex trafficking, ex trafficking. Most of Donald Trump picks are just like him. They SA abusers, pedophiles, criminals, and the list just goes on and on and on. But they all have something to say about Hunter Biden being pardoned by his beautiful father, Joe Biden. Joe Biden did what any parent would do. And that's what we're supposed to do as parents, take care of our children. Donald Trump, all he pardoned was a whole bunch of criminals. The people he pardoned did so many things worse than what Hunter Biden did. It was a coup against Hunter Biden and Joe Biden. They went after Hunter Biden to destroy who? President Joe Biden. President Joe Biden did what a father's supposed to do. Any parent would have done it. Thank you, Joyce Williams, Queen Joyce. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's up, King Cam? Any parent would save their child. Donald Trump should never open his mouth about Joe Biden pardoning his son, Hunter Biden. Because, Donnie boy, the American Supreme Court just let you slide off those 34 felonies. You're a felon still, though. And it's so embarrassing. They're going to have a man in the White House that is banned from so many countries because he's a felon. Donald Trump is an embarrassment to the American people. He's a felon. He can't go to certain countries because of it. He can't even go to Canada. So that's why the governor of Canada came to America, to Mar-a-Lago. He didn't even stay there because I heard Mar-a-Lago is filth. He didn't even stay there. He can't even go to Canada. That's embarrassing. But, MAGA, you got what you wanted. You got your loser. He may be in that Oval Office coming January, but he is not a winner. A winner is a man like President Joe Biden. No criminal past, no crimes against thee. Like President Obama, President Barack Obama, greatness in the education is amazing. What smacked Donald Trump on his pissy depends. Even Bush, both Bush was better than Donald Trump, and that's not much to say. Even sorry Reagan that hated black people were better. He was better than Donald Trump. And that's nothing to brag on when it comes to Reagan. He tried to destroy the whole black community. And Donald Trump, don't you ever fix your mouth to talk about Hunter Biden again. Because your son standing at SpaceX, digging in his pockets, putting it up on his gums. Because you know why he put it on his gums? Because he get high quicker. I dare y'all talk about Hunter Biden when you got your savior, Donald Trump, with his sorry son, Junior, doing drugs out in front of everybody. Because he's a junkie. Like RBO Day said, he's a junkie. I dare y'all talk about Hunter Biden. Now sit back and enjoy the show. Just a moment, please. Hit that like button. Thank y'all for coming to my live. You are valued. You are appreciated. Each and every last one of y'all are kings and queens. I salute each and every last one of y'all. One moment, please. If you would like for me to read your comments, you have to send me a super chat and I will gladly read it. No matter what you have to say about me, because Mega never have anything nice to say about me in the chat. And God knows I am used to them in all their craziness. Low vibrational people. So I'm going to show y'all something. Biden pardons Hunter Biden. One moment, please. And I love it. Just a moment. I got to wait till it come up.
Breaking news, President Joe Biden has pardoned his son Hunter Biden. The decision came ahead of Hunter's sentencing on December 12th for his federal gun charges conviction. Hunter was also scheduled to be sentenced on December 16th for pleading guilty to federal tax evasion in September. The pardon covers any offenses between January 1st, 2014 and December 1st, 2024. A senior White House official stated that Biden made the decision over the weekend and began informing top aides on Sunday. In a statement released Sunday night, President Biden wrote, "Today, I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision-making, and I kept my word even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted." Remember to follow us now for more updates. Breaking news, President Joe Biden has...
Please subscribe and follow Midas Touch Network. I watch them faithfully, and they are one of the best channels on YouTube. So give them a subscription. Please subscribe to their channel. Hold on. Just a moment, please. I'm going to show y'all something that I really loved, how the British greet Donald Trump. Whew, when I tell you, it was amazing. Hold on. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're just going to love it. And I love it, every last bit of it. Oh, God knows I do. Hold on. Just a moment. Let me go back out. Thank you, Troner. Jesus is the only way to heaven. Amen. Thank you. Oh, I got to play that again. Why you such a... See you next Tuesday. That's what they said. That's how they feel about Donald Trump over there in Britain right now. Donald Trump is not welcome anywhere. Only in MAGAville. And now I'm going to show y'all a video of Melania Trump. Melania Trump demands to have her own bedroom in the White House. And she will be spending most of her time in New York with her son, the one that looks like a vampire. And she will be spending quite amount of her time in Florida with her friends. She's not going to be at the White House often. She has her own room there. What an embarrassment. She doesn't want Donald Trump touching her. How can you be married and can't touch your wife? He's a disgrace. I know what the problem is. She don't want to sleep in the bed with him because she doesn't want to smell that pissy depends. I'm quite sure he soaks the bed at night. He can't get up and go to the bathroom. He's old and molded and corroded and disgusting. Just a moment, please.
Do you know what's really fun?
Everyone knows I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, but hey, it is what it is. That's MAGA savior, so let them have it. They don't worship Jesus Christ, they worship Donald Trump. It's so sad. Fix it, Jesus.
Melania is demanding her own bedroom separate from Donald Trump. Going back into the White House. Put her up full mast. Yeah, she got paid off, I'm sure. Melania Trump reportedly demands her own bedroom in the White House amid speculation that she hates her husband after publicly shutting down his affection. Rumors say that the separate bedroom is for her and Elon. I made that up. That's my fault. I should have said that.
She would be more attracted to Elon than Donnie, boy. Trust me. Donnie got that girdle on. You see he's holding all that fat in? That's when he's wearing his girdle. What a disgrace. She won't even kiss her husband on the mouth. What a disgrace to America.
Every time I see that, I'm like, man, that's cold-blooded. Because, listen, you're in front of a lot of people, okay? There's a lot
Fair use, educational, and great for research.
Right? And, there are some people that just roll with it. You know what I mean? Because it's so many people. She said, I don't give a damn if I'm married to this man. I'm not rolling with this. So let's put it up again. I just want people to see it full mass here.
She wants to vomit.
That's hate, man. That is
she hates that man.
That cannot be fake. That is
money, money, money. That's all she's thinking about is the money.
One of the claims is that Trump's wife.
There's no love in that marriage.
sleep in the same bedroom as her husband, fueling long-standing speculation about their marriage and whether or not she even enjoys being married to the controversial figure. Now, if you remember, during his last presidential stint, she basically wasn't at the White House. Okay, she stayed somewhere else. She came for some of the major events. That's it. A supposed insider close to the family shared with Radar Online that Melania's preference for them is to have separate living arrangements. Is not new. The tabloid site reported, quote, "It was no secret that Donald stayed in the White House master suite and Melania occupied a 2-room suite on the 3rd floor during their first go-round there," the source revealed. They'll now basically go back to something along those very same lines, if not in the very same rooms. When Radar reached out for comment, a spokesperson for the president-elect denied the validity of these claims about their sleeping arrangement. Why would we even ask Trump anything anymore? It's going to be a lie every time, every single time.
Every time.
Despite the dismissal of the claim that Melania does not want to sleep in the same room, there are other allegations adding to the speculation. Allegedly, Melania plans to divide her time between D.C. and New York and also Palm Beach. You go, girl. According to CNN, insiders claim she has made a close-knit circle of friends in Florida over the past 4 years and wants to spend more time there with them. This decision has allegedly impacted her decision not to stay full-time in the White House like other women in the past married to the sitting president. I mean, Michelle Obama could have never done this.
Exactly.
Melania is
Michelle
also
Obama is
expected
class,
to spend a
not
considerable
classless.
amount of time living in Trump Tower in New
Classy.
York to
Michelle
remain close to her
Obama is
son,
classy.
Barron Trump, who is currently a business major at New York University. Many are wondering if they are truly strong as a couple, with news of the pair negotiating another prenuptial months before Trump started campaigning for the recent election being released.
Good for her.
But it seems many understand Melania's disdain for Donald Trump. Melania only showed up for 2 major campaign events. The RNC's last night in the Madison Garden Rally in New York last month. Come on, man. I mean, is anyone surprised?
Not at
All
all.
right, Francesca, thoughts?
Yeah, but then we're supposed to pretend that the right is like such a picture of, family morals and health and, what? No, you're all creeps. You've all been accused of sexual assault and your wives don't want to sleep in the same bedroom with you. They don't even want to give you a peck. They don't want to give you a peck. It doesn't matter how much money you pay, not even a peck do they want to give you. And the rumors, have been true for a very long time. And good on Melania, the smell alone, I would not sleep anywhere near that man. I will.
Preach.
That's terrifying
Preach.
to me. I'm sure the snores echo through the chambers and all that. But again, we can't point this out, but we should all the time, being look, if Donald Trump claims he understands
Return
what
to
healthy
sender. I
families
read your
look like
comment.
and
I
normal
return to
families
sender. I
look like,
rebuked
and,
you.
heterosexual, strong families look like. But what about his own marriage? What about the fact, this is his 3rd wife and who clearly hates his guts and doesn't want to spend any time there? I mean, yes, Jill Biden could never. Michelle Obama could never. That would be nonstop chatter and talk were they not always in the same bedroom. But then again, I'm big on having your separate space. Look, so I'm not even going to judge her on that. I think sometimes in a couple, you just got to have your separate space, and especially if you're your president. Have a separate space is good.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting to see.
It sure will be. Interesting to see, because Melania Trump said, "Oh no, get thee away from me. Get this man away from me. I don't want to smell that pissity pants. And look at all his makeup on my beautiful blouse, my pussy bow blouse. Get him away from me. Oh my God, I want to go to the beach. Just get him away from me." Donnie says, "I want to go with you. You my wife." Melania said, "Oh, hell no, you ain't going with me to the beach." "I don't think so, Donnie. No. You're going to melt. Your makeup is going to melt. Just stay here." She don't want that man. She can't stand the sight of him. And what kind of marriage is that to be in? What a sight to see and a scandal. Kings and queens, good.